Today, my guest in studio, lawyer Abraham Amalba. He is the head of the NDC's legal committee. He's also a member of the national communications team, and also lawyer Kwame Jantwa is a private legal practitioner available for your services, and is the head of the CPP's political affairs committee, and also not pro bono services, proper consultancy services. And tennis miracles about. He's a big man at the presidency. He advises the president on local governance issues. He's a former MCE for Equiapem North Municipal Assembly. Gentlemen, welcome back from the break. And former President, John Dramani Mahama has been speaking. Take a listen to him.
The 1 billion syndicated loan agreement, and our MPs are poised to oppose and vote against it in Parliament. We wish to serve notice going forward that the NDC in Parliament will not support any further non-concessionary borrowing or loans that are not project-specific with clear and unambiguous terms of the benefit to our nation. We will not partake in the destruction of the Ghanaian economy, which this government appears so bent on doing. He should fire his finance minister. He should conduct a major shake.
Fire the finance minister. Those were the exact words of President John Dramani Mahama. Malba, why is your the leader of your party for the 2020 elections, why is he making such statements at this time? Sack finance minister, and then what?
Because he's coming in as president in 2025, and he wouldn't want to meet an economy that is in tatters. And so he needs to start speaking now to put the brakes on the poor management of the economy. I've answered your question directly. So now let me go on.
But he's not the flag bearer yet. So
I'm saying that
you should wait for his time.
Overwhelmingly, it is clear that the people of this country are yearning for John Mahama. And so when he speaks this way, it's because in 2024, the NDC would take the reins of government. And it is important that the NDC does not sit down and allow things to deteriorate to such an extent that even when we come, we cannot recover the economy.
The government would disagree with him that, look, we're trying to get things on track. COVID, Russia, Ukraine messed us up a bit, but we're trying to get back on track. So this is uncalled for, really. And to even suggest that the parliamentarians on the side of the NDC, that side of the aisle, will kick against the loans that will help us bounce back. That's not nationalistic, is it?
So this is it. This economy is in comatose. It's in comatose. It's in coma. This economy, as we speak, is in coma. ICU, or the hospital, what do they call that place?
Yeah, intensive care unit.
Intensive care unit. This economy is virtually there. And you see, the sad thing about all this is that the executive, led by Nana Akufo-Addo, is refusing to take responsibility. They acknowledge, we've said that, but to take responsibility, what they do is to say, oh, it's COVID. In fact, they first started with Mahama. Mahama was the cause. Then they came to COVID. Then they went to Ukraine. In between COVID and Ukraine, they even blamed the rating agencies. I'm saying that in between COVID and then the Ukraine-Russia war, they even blamed rating agencies for downgrading the economy. They have never taken responsibility to say that, look, we agree, we think that things are bad, but we are going to take Ghanaians out of the challenge. Look, never in the history of this Fourth Republic have Ghanaians become so united under an adversity than we have today. The adversity that Ghanaians are going through today has brought Ghanaians all together. And that's the result of what you saw at the demonstration. And indeed, yesterday, when I left the police headquarters, I nearly jumped traffic.
Why?
You know, there are some 3 lines before the traffic.
That's right.
So I nearly went past those 3 lines, then I stopped.
Why?
The economy is bad. I was thinking about the economy. So a policeman walked to me and ask, then I roll my glass. Oh, you're a lawyer? I said, yes, I'm a lawyer. That then, I said, now me dream. You see? Then the policeman said, where am I from? I said, I'm from the police headquarters. I just went and bailed those demonstrators. They said, and the minimum, Yetamuchi. The policeman said that, yes. Yetamuchi, I nearly caused traffic, I nearly crossed. I didn't cross, so he couldn't have done anything. You get the point?
But you were thinking about the economy.
I was thinking about the economy. I was thinking about it. You get the point? So these are some of the things that people go through. Look at even my level. Can you imagine? Those are the ghettos. At my level, look at what it nearly cost me. Because fuel prices are high, unemployment is at the high, all-time high. Nothing is working under this administration.
Should Ken Oforiatta go?
I want to tell the people's president, John Mahama, that your call will never be heeded by Nana Akufo-Addo.
Why?
Because Ken is kept there as the receiver of the war chest and the looting that is happening in this administration. So he is a receiver. And so he's there to receive public loot for the family of the president.
That's a very strong.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
How do you?
So he's there. The president says, former President Mahama says that, because he's his cousin. It goes beyond just cousin. That man is there to receive the corrupt monies that are in this administration, the looting. He's a receiver of those things. Why? This is a finance minister who only knows how to borrow and collateralize. This is a finance minister who does not have what it takes to engineer the economy from its current situation for us to come out of these doldrums. All he knows, he's good at borrowing. He's good at collateralization. Because these two are no longer there, see, he's become somebody who is just sitting in that office. Because now he can't borrow. The international community have placed a ban. He can't go and borrow. The markets have refused him. Then also collateralization. And you see, Japan is coming. They are trying to put that together. And that is also hitting a brick wall. Because parliamentarians are saying that they won't allow that to happen. So, it was a good call. And this is not the first time former President Mahama made that call, but it will not be heeded to by the president. Because that man is put there to receive loot that belongs to the family. But if
at every step of the way, the opposition is putting spokes in the wheels of government, government says, look, we're in a difficult time, we acknowledge it. This is where we want to go, and this is how we propose that we should go. And you're putting spokes in the wheels of the government.
I think you should be specific about the words that he used in terms of how Parliament is going to... we need to clarify it because it's not a general thing.
Right.
He actually said with specific projects.
Specific projects. Not entirely.
Yes.
But I'm saying that this is what government says, look, we are in a difficult place. This is how we propose that we get out of this. This is what we want to do. We want to borrow from here. We want to do this. We want to call it e-levy. Every step of the way, you say no. How does the government succeed?
Government has not shown leadership. The president has not shown leadership. Last week we were here, and he made a point that the president should have been addressing us.
That's right.
As if former President Mahama was listening to him. At this point, one would have expected the president to face all of us. And I think you said it this morning on your program.
Right.
And to tell us, how are we going to get out of this mess? The president is not doing that. All you see him is junketing all over in his luxurious jet. Former President Mahama says that non-concessionary loans will not be supported by the minority in Parliament. And what are non-concessionary loans? These are loans whose interest rates are pegged at market value. And he says that loans that are not also project specific will not be supported. Why is he saying this? These people have borrowed more than from the days of Diego de Azabuja through to Godijibet Nkrumah to this day. but we cannot see the things that the money is used for. So what he's saying is that if you are borrowing to provide water for the people of Tamale, we agree, we will support it because we can police that money. If you are borrowing to provide roads for the people of Adenta, that one, we can see it and we will support it. That is a very responsible opposition leader.
But in addition to that,
because he thinks that this government is engaging frivolous borrowing and you cannot find where those monies have gone to.
But in addition to that, the borrowing, which you complain about, the government says, look, people like Dennis and all others who have been appointed by the government are taking a 30% pay cut. Council of State members say we'll give 20% of our allowances so that it can help us bounce back. That's some commitment, is it not?
Look.
Are you not taking a 30% pay cut?
Look, this was announced, I think, earlier in the year. Can they tell us where that money is kept? Where is that money? You don't just make an announcement and say that I'm cutting 20% of expenditure or 20% of salaries of public servants or appointees. We want to know if you are actually cutting it, where is that money going to? That's one. That money that you cut, what projects are those monies going to be used for? We've not seen anything like that.
Fair question, but
we've not seen anything like that.
Have you asked?
Me, ask.
Yes, you.
Me, if I ask them, they'll rather conceal that money the more.
I hear you.
So, it is clear that this administration has lost touch. It is clear that it is not in the interest of the president to want to deal with this matter. He's happy to have gotten his childhood ambition, that is to be a president, but to deal with the real issues on the ground, which is affecting Ghanaians, this president doesn't care.
That's Abraham Amaleba, the man who nearly crossed the red light because he was thinking about the economy. Dennis, you heard President Mahama, or former President Mahama, he says, sack Oforiatta.
Before you come to this verse, I heard Amaleba talk about former President Mahama coming in 2025. And he said that countless times.
Yes.
I don't know whether in their party they no longer respect democracy. Because you have read today where the former national organizer of the party, who is an elder, Yabuati Jan, say that it's going to be deadly for them to send President Mahama into the polls. And you know, former BOG governor, Dofo, is actually campaigning. So if you do that, you are being unfair.
The founding father of your party, Dr. Nyao Tomaklo, he says that if the NDC doesn't bring John Mahama, who else can they bring?
Yeah, but the point I'm even making is that allow the democratic tenets.
Right. Well, I asked him that
it's unfair because you are the head of legal. If you do that, you are swaying. You are attacking democracy. I think it's unfair because this morning I'm sure either Mr. Dofo or Mr. Boatija will respond to him, and that sends it back as a people. But moving on to the issue, you know what they say about the dog shaking his buttocks in the marketplace? It doesn't mean that you should pick it and fry it and grill it. The fact that the people of Ghana are complaining doesn't mean that they are asking for former President John Dramani Mahama to come to office.
What are they
have experienced him before. They are asking for the MPP to fix the challenges. And that's what we are doing. What the people of Ghana are asking for is that there are challenges. We admit that there are global challenges, but we want to concentrate on ours and find ways and means to fix ours.
It says you are admitting, but you are not taking responsibility.
We've already told you.
Are you taking responsibility?
Oh, come on. Have you forgotten that we already outlined certain strategies to mitigate these challenges? And even in the last 3 days, we've told you that we are going to do an assessment, and the process has started. The stakeholder engagement has started to assess the impact of these mitigating measures and see whether they are working or not, so that if they are not working, we throw in other strategies. That is a government that is listening. That's a government that is actually picking feedback from the people and trying to tweak the strategies and make it work. The fact that people are complaining doesn't mean that they are yearning for
Should Oforiatta be sacked?
Please let me flow. I'll come to that. As we speak, we have already experienced the man. We know what he can and cannot do. He's the last person we want to take economic lectures from, because in a similar, less difficult situation as we have in 2015, he took away all our incentives as a people. He couldn't even keep electricity on for us to run our small businesses.
But Dr. Baumia said that John Mahama solved Doomsor. He's on record.
Who solved? When in 2017, when we came to office, there was Doomsor. So 7 months into office.
Please allow him. Allow him, please. Allow him. Why? Then it's gone.
Well, today the thing is almost ending. It's been very
Then
nice.
It's gone. But I'm saying that Dr. Baumia
mentioned. I am telling you that 7 months into 2017, we didn't have power. Poor people who had their kids in school, nursing training, teacher training, and couldn't afford, for which reason government, since time memorial, has been taking care of them. You withdrew it from them.
But you are owing them.
We owe them, but they are not the ones going to pay. We owe them, but they are not the ones going to pay. They are two different
What
things.
is the essence of owing people when they need the money to go to school?
When you owe me money,
owe them and they can't
they
go
are
to
in school. Are they home?
But they are borrowing. They are borrowing
yes,
to go to
and
school.
they are borrowing against something that they will get from government to pay. It is better than not having any hope.
Time value of money.
It doesn't matter. It's better.
Time value of money.
It's better than being hopeless.
Time value of money.
I am telling you that as you sit here, if someone should tell you that I'll give you $2 million, and for which reason you can go and afford a house at Trasako, you go and buy it at Trasako because you know the person owes you $2 million. It is better that way.
It doesn't come.
It is better that way than you not having any hope at all. When we came to office, we had several things that the Ghanaian people were enjoying. Social safety net that he had withdrawn because you couldn't simply manage the economy that you had.
You know, you made
all
this.
the things former President John Dramani Mahama is talking about. When he had a chance between 2013 and 2016, was he able to implement them? When we came to office, interest rates in borrowing was around 28 to 30%. We brought it to almost about 13.5%. When we came to office, inflation was about 17%. We brought it to 7%. What we are saying is that between 2017 and 2019, and early part in 2020, the economy was on track. Nobody can dispute that. And then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we experienced a global pandemic that has never been seen in 120 years. Was it a lie?
In 2019, your debt to GDP was 62.69%.
62.69.
Yes. Now you're 81.
And we're building schools.
But you can't say
you can't say that.
Which school are you building?
We were building schools.
Which school?
We were building dormitories. We were building classroom blocks. We were building dining halls. We were admitting excess of 100,000 children who were home because there were no classroom blocks for them. That is what we're doing with that money. We were giving that money to young Ghanaian children who were sitting home and had no jobs to do through the NAPCO. That is what we gave them money to. But Dennis, we gave them.
Dennis,
how many money?
Dennis, you keep making these arguments, but all the things you're mentioning, you owe them.
But you asked me what we did with the money.
If I'm an NSS person now, a national service personnel now, I'm supposed to take my allowance and go to work with it to support the country. You owe me. I have not been able to go to work. How do I go and support? And then, at the end of the month, when my supervisor is filling my forms to get me my allowance, they will mention that I've been absent from work for 8 days, and so I'm not entitled to it.
When I'm making the point and you don't make me flow.
I beg you, Danny, I beg you 1 minute. So
you don't make me flow and turn into a banter. It makes your viewers.
No, it's not a banter. Don't create that impression.
Let me tell you something.
People always create that impression.
Okay, can I proceed now? Let me tell you something. You asked a specific question.
Right.
What have we done with the borrowing?
Right.
And I'm telling you what we have done with the borrowing. And you are talking about some 3 months or 4 months or 5 months of debt or arrears to these things that we have done with. Does it take away the fact that what we borrow, we use it to build the classrooms? Does it take away from the fact that we paid a NAPCO personnel for almost 2.5 or 3 years? Does it take away that fact? The fact that you owe them 3-4 months, does it take away that fact? What I am telling you is that we borrowed, but we borrowed to build classroom blocks for Ghanaian children to sit in. We borrowed, but we borrowed to ensure that the young people who were sitting at home had jobs to do. We borrowed, but we borrowed to make sure that we are building roads. We borrowed, but we borrowed to ensure that we return the social safety net.
Amalva says because you can't borrow anymore. That's why you are in arrears.
Let me tell you something that sometimes when I hear the NDC say, I laugh. Go to Parliament. If I don't go to Parliament, every Ghanaian should go to Google and type 2021 debt stock Ghana. It will direct you to the Ministry of Finance website.
Okay.
Download it. Do you know what you get?
No.
You will get the list of every single loan Ghana has acquired since independence and what we have done with it. And then when you see it, come back and interrogate what the MPP has done with the loan.
Okay.
And when the
Should Ken Oforiatta be sacked? Should Ken Oforiatta be sacked?
Why? The conofrator that has kept our light on should be sacked. The conofrator that has ensured that children are in school and as to speak, they are not paying a dime. The poor man and the rich person's child is in school should be sacked. How many countries in this world have every single child in secondary education for free? How many children
on the streets?
In the same period, less difficult times under the NDC, they withdrew all these things. In the most difficult situation under the MPP in this country, where globally the US, the UK, Germany, everybody is struggling, Nana Akufo-Addo has assured that all these things remain for the people of Ghana.
Ken Opoyata's primary job, which I heard the president